All right. You're listening to WJOP 96.3 FM. My name's Tyler Newfell, and today we have a very special interview with Matt Farley. Now, Matt you are Motern Media.
Yes.
So Matt is, you might know him from, he had an appearance in 2016 on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, am I correct?
That's right. Yep, I tell everyone I know. Even people I don't know, as soon as I meet them, I just say, hi, I was on The Tonight Show.
Yeah, it's a great clip. It's interesting that it's in, you've split it up into 2 1-minute clips, but...
Yeah, well, it's only available through this one website that posts all TV shows in 1-minute clips. Yeah, just because of the rights with the publishing of the song, it's not available as a whole clip anywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very strange. I digress here, though. So, Matt Farley of Motern Media is a very prolific songwriter. You have, last time I checked, it was over 20,000. Is it over 21,000 yet?
No. Once I hit 20,000, I slowed down. I hit 20,000, I think, in late June or early July, and then I said, maybe I should live a little.
Cool off a little bit, because I also saw, was it last year you were at either 18 or 19,000, so that's...
Yeah, I especially this year in the winter, I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit 20,000. That was the goal, and I worked hard at that, and I mean, it drove me crazy. It's insane to do that many songs. Some days I'm writing like 30 or 40 songs
a day.
Yeah. I mean, oftentimes they're pretty simple, where I'm just singing a person's name over and over again.
Oh, we're familiar with those.
Yeah, but it's still time-consuming, and or if I mess up and then have to re-sing a person's name for a minute and a half, it's a
minute and a half right there.
I've lost another minute and a half of my life.
So are you recording every day, or do you do kind of a...
Yeah, well, my wife works 4 days a week, and on those days I'm taking care of our kids. We have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. So when she comes home from work, I try to go downstairs and record, but sometimes I've been chasing 2 kids around for 12 hours, and I just don't have it in me. But that gives me Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Those are my music days.
Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, so, weekend activity, when people say, like, will you come to a cookout at my house, I say, no, I'll be in my basement recording weird songs by myself. Sorry. I have a calling in life.
Now, I saw that you were in a duo before called, is it Moe's Haven?
Yeah.
And is it Tom Scalzo? Does he ever appear on any of the Motern Media songs that aren't Moe's Haven?
Yeah, so Tom and I met Tom in 1996 at Providence College, and we kind of slowly developed this songwriting approach where it got to the point where it was just like, never question any idea that comes into your brain. That became our motto, sort of. So whether it was a good idea or a bad idea, we just wrote the song, recorded the song, did it all, and figured we'll figure out later if it's any good, Mm-hmm. So we spent about 10 years. We put out 25 albums together.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, almost no one listened to them, and but I did notice that the silly songs earned me a little bit of money on iTunes, So, like, we'd write these beautiful, heartfelt ballads, and no one listened, but then we'd write a song called Shut Up Your Monkey. And it earned us like $4 in a year.
There you go.
And I was like, whoa, I have an idea. If I do nothing but weird songs, I bet you I can make a little money. He moved to New York, upstate New York, around the time that I started doing this. But we still collaborate. When I try to write quote unquote serious music, I'll collaborate with my friends, and we'll be, rock out in the basement, and no one will listen to it. And then on my own, I sing about animals, and for some reason, it's popular.
I know you've got the because you also have over 70 different monikers or project names.
Yeah.
There's one of them is the guy. What is it? The animal.
The singing animal lover.
Singing animal lover, and you have one. I have it written down here. It's the. I think it's people look like their dogs sometimes.
Oh yeah, people like that. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, in fact, I'm doing every year I do a cover song contest with. I have a podcast, and people will send in their version of my songs, and someone covered that this year. Yeah.
Oh, did they fill out the instrumentation, or did they make it nice?
Yeah, they made it a little bit bluesier. It's like a real bluesy approach to the topic of people looking like their pets.
Speaking of that, do you mind if we play one of your songs?
Of course, please.
So I think we'll play, because we mentioned it earlier, just so people can get a taste. We'll play "Used to Be a Pizza Hut."
All right.
Which is a fan favorite, I believe. All right. Used to be a Pizza Hut.
It used to be a Pizza Hut. It used to be a Pizza Hut. It's not a Pizza Hut anymore. But to me it still is. Used to be a Pizza Hut. Used to be a Pizza Hut. Someone else moved in and is doing something else now. It will always be a Pizza Hut. It'll always be a Pizza Hut. I don't care what you are trying to sell me. Pizza Hut, it'll always be a Pizza Hut. It used to be a Pizza Hut. It used to be a Pizza Hut. It'll always be a Pizza Hut. Always be a Pizza Hut. I don't care what you are trying to sell me. Oh, 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 oh. Used to be a Pizza Hut. I cannot take it seriously. Pizza Hut, and still looks like a Pizza Hut. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It used to be a Pizza Hut. It'll always be a Pizza Hut. It used to be a Pizza Hut. It'll always be a Pizza Hut.
There we go. This used to be a Pizza Hut.
Yeah, sounding pretty good. So that one. There's a guy who has a website called Used to Be a Pizza Hut with pictures of former Pizza Huts, and I give out my phone number. I literally sing my phone number in the lyrics of many of my songs.
Yeah, I saw on your website that people are surprised sometimes to find that is actually your phone number.
Yes, so he called me. I consider the guy a friend at this point. I've never met him, but but he called me and was like, "You should do a song about places that used to be a Pizza Hut." I said, "Okay."
All right.
And then like 3 years later, I get another phone call from The Tonight Show, and they said, "You want to perform your Pizza Hut song on our show?" And I honestly didn't remember the song. I said, "Pizza Hut song?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, I could whip one up even if I haven't written one." But it turns out they jogged my memory, and that was, just pure luck, because literally Jimmy Fallon typed the word Pizza Hut into Spotify and found the song, and then told the producers, "Let's get this guy on the show." It was really my evil plan totally coming together, because the goal is, if I have a song about everything, then eventually
pop up.
Someone's going to search for that.
I noticed that you have a song called "The Poop Song."
Oh yeah, that
has seemed to be quite prolific for you.
Yeah, it's up. I think it's over 1.5 million streams on Spotify. I'm pretty sure it's right around there right now, which is amazing. I look at like other bands' pages, like respected bands that I like, and then I see, oh, my Poop Song has more streams than their best song. Yeah, but that was a moment, the guy who was under a tree and the apple fell on his head. And
Isaac Newton?
Yeah, that moment when he discovered gravity. It was the same thing for me when I discovered that kids probably type the word poop into Spotify search engines, And so that's the band is called the Toilet Bowl Cleaners.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm the only member of the band, and I have 14 albums. I think one of which is titled "You Thought We Ran Out of Poop Song Ideas, You Were Wrong."
What number of the albums was that? Was that
That was like the
12?
11th, I think. Yeah. And then to really mix things up, the Toilet Bowl Cleaners put out an album called Mature Love Songs, and there's no poop songs whatsoever. It's just like heartfelt
love songs.
Because I like to imagine a person looking at the discography and saying like, all right, there's the White Album with yellow and brown stains. There's songs about poop and puke. And wait, what's this? Mature Love Songs, you know? It just cracks me up. I don't know if anyone even notices it, but just for my own entertainment.
I think because I noticed the first song I heard by you was Dijon is the mustard city in France.
Oh, nice.
I think I got the title right. And I found it in a similar manner to typing in Pizza Hut or poop into Spotify. I typed in mustard.
Okay.
And it was the first song that popped up.
Wow. Because I also have a song about mustard.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, by another band, the Hungry Food Band. But keep going.
Oh, I'll have to listen to that. But anyways, so I was looking through the guy who sings about cities and towns, which is that moniker.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you have a lot of places in Europe and a lot of states, but you have one album, I think, from 2016 called I've Never Left My Hometown.
Yeah, it's the same idea as I did with the Toilet Bowl Cleaners, except that one gets even more in depth. I mean, it turns out that the guy who sings about cities and towns is like a disturbed individual who's terrified to leave his own hometown. He had this girlfriend named Kathy, and she wanted to see the world, and so she left him. And so it's a full album of him just lamenting the sadness of his existence, you know? And I don't want to get too deep for you, but then if you look at the Very Nice Interesting Singer Man, he has an album called Roy and Kathy, because his name is Roy.
Oh.
And turns out when Kathy left to see the world, she met Roy and had a love affair with him, and Roy wrote an album about it. This is all going on inside my head, mind you. Yeah, but
and this is just two of the many.
Yeah, personas. Yeah, so it's kind of fun to have, like, the singing animal lover has a gripe with the odd man who sings about poop, puke, and pee. Because the singing animal lover thought he should be allowed to do the Animal Poop Songs album, but it went to the odd man. But then the singing animal lover finally was allowed to do it. So there's two full albums called Animal Poop Songs. They're both by me under different names, and they both have the same 90 animals, but they're all different songs. Oh, my goodness. It was all worth it, though, just so I can tell you the story right now.
Do you plan these kind of things in advance, or is it sometimes you'll be sitting down on a Wednesday or a Saturday or Sunday, you go, you know what, I'm going to make this backstory for each one of these personas?
Yeah, it definitely was not the plan. It's just slowly the stories have been building on top of each other. Now I want to do... now I want the guy who sings songs about cities and towns to do an album where he rips on the Very Nice Interesting Singer Man for stealing his girlfriend, you know? So stay tuned.
Oh my. Switching.
Yeah,
switching gears here. You know Van Morrison?
Not personally, but yes.
But no, of Van Morrison. Have you ever heard the Complete Bang sessions?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's where famously he had to get, say, 40 songs written to get out of his contract. So he just kind of like put out whatever came to mind, right?
Yeah, so including one of my favorites, which is Ringworm.
Nice.
Have you heard that one?
I don't think so, no.
Do you want to hear it right now?
Yes.
All right, let's cue. I'm just going to play it real quick to make sure it's all good first. But to give people an idea, this is a 90-second song by Van Morrison in his prime.
Yeah.
And it does not sound serious, but it is...
It's a real deal.
It's a real deal. It really happened.
It really happened, and it's inspirational to me.
I actually adore this song, but all right. Ringworm by Van Morrison. I love that song.
I like to imagine the producer on the other side of the glass saying, all right, Van, that's a take. That's the one, right, Van?
It's the one.
Yeah, so I find that completely inspirational. I mean, and it's fun. It's good, honestly. And if you're not even listening to the lyrics, that you almost just like enjoy the weird sounds that it is. Like most songs, I don't even know what they're about. You know, songs that I've listened to 50 times. Sometimes I finally listen to the lyrics, and I'm like, wait, what are they singing about? You know. So it really doesn't matter what people are singing about lots of the times. But yeah, I'm familiar with that Van project, and basically, I took like the most obscure moment of his career, and I made it my entire career, which is really a bad idea. I should have just tried to write Brown Eyed Girl over and over again, but hey.
Well, he didn't. So.
Well, he kept on, yeah. Well, I mean, I can't listen to anything after 1975 by Van, but this interview is not about him.
No, it's not. I just wanted to ask if he was somewhat of an
big time. He's an inspiration, both his serious songs and those weird things. Yeah. Ideally, because I honestly think I've written better songs than Van Morrison, many. Dozens, maybe hundreds, but I'm only known for singing about Pizza Hut and animals and poop. So you know, I'm like a poor struggling artist. Don't you feel so bad for me? I know.
I know. I feel it.
But you got to do something. You know, if you're not signing with a big record studio, you need to do something to like stand out. So, what I decided to do was write 20,000 songs.
Just casually. In the vein of that, so how do you collect the royalties for that?
I use a company called CD Baby.
CD Baby.
Anybody can release music through them. There's others. There's one called DistroKid. I've
heard of them.
Some people use them, but you pay a fee to get your album on all the sites, and then the money that's made, it's usually about a half a penny per stream on Spotify and iTunes and whatnot, Amazon. The money all goes back to CD Baby. They take 9%, give the rest to me, and currently I'm making enough that it's my full-time job.
How long has it been your full-time job for? Because I know in 2008 you started this endeavor.
Yes. It's been 2.5 years that I've been full-time music. So I wrote the bulk of my 20,000 while I was also working a full-time job. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Wow. What were you doing before this?
I worked at a group home for teens for 17 years. It was a house with like 15 to 20 kids, boys and girls, and I'd make them listen to my music. You know?
Got to get those streams.
It would be like a punishment. Like, hey, if you don't settle down, I'm going to play one of my songs.
Oh, my. Now, because you mentioned you feel you have some hundreds of songs that are better than Van Morrison's.
Yeah.
Do you have a list of like 5 or 10 that you would recommend people to listen to that aren't like used to be a Pizza Hut? Or...
Yeah. Oh, by Mose Haven, there's a song called Dig In. I'm really proud of that one.
I'll write that down. Mose Haven.
Dig In. I also like Tin Roof Tap Dance, also by Mose Haven. And, It's Okay to Break the Law If You Have Good Intentions.
Oh, I've heard that one. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks. Yeah. People like that one. That's lately been the song we close the show with, and it's well received.
Yeah, there's so a couple of my friends. So when I heard you a couple years ago, I only knew you as the guy.
The Dijon guy.
The Dijon guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was 69 or 70 more different projects. But one of my other friends, I showed him some of your music the other week, and he's just been diving in. He's been sending me a curated playlist.
Yeah.
So you got to check this out. You got to check this one out. You got to check this one out. And I think I have a few of them written down here.
I want to hear it. Yeah.
In my long notes. I got to find it first. All right. Let's
take your time.
Is it in here?
Keep looking. I'll just
might be in my phone actually.
Keep looking. I'll talk about how after I hit 20, basically, I wish I could just write the good songs all the time, but they literally make no money, and it's devastating. But like after I hit 20,000 songs, my reward to myself was I was able to make like a serious album for my own, you know. So July I spent making an album called I Forgot What I Was Gonna Say, and it, you know, it probably will take like 5 years for it to earn $100, but you know, artistically it's a good exercise. Did you find them?
I did. So one of them was It's Okay to Break the Law If You Have Good Intentions.
Nice.
Another one was I Fell Down the Stairs, Oh No. And Wear a Trash Bag, Save Money, It's Fine.
Hey, someone had to write that song. You know, the world needed it.
I haven't heard that one yet. It's on
I
the
don't
list.
even remember how it goes.
Yeah, so that was another question I had. So you have over 20,000 songs, which I keep harping on, and you've said you forgot there used to be a Pizza Hut song. Is it often sometimes you have your 5.5 hour extravaganza every year?
Right.
Is that on June 3rd?
It used to be. We're moving it to next year. It'll be in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever have anyone ask you to perform a song and you've forgotten it?
Yeah, I mean, the Tonight Show thing happened. I mean, in terms of asking me to perform it, not too many people care enough to ask me to perform anything. But yeah, I'm sometimes surprised by my own music and delighted by it, I should add. Like, I forget the song, and then I listen to it, and I say, hey, that was a pretty good song. Way to go, me.
Do you want to play
Yes.
to give people a taste of your more serious side? You want to play It's Okay to Break the Law?
Let's do it, yeah.
All right.
And by serious, it just means it's not completely wacky. I mean,
No,
it's kind of a lighthearted song, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
You're serious enough to make these. I think that counts.
Amen. So this is by the very nice, interesting Singer Man, and it's from his album called Keep Being Awesome. And he is me. I should add.
We're just loading a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Okay.
Life is long and I might get caught, but it's also short and probably not. My only regrets are the fights I never fought, all the stuff that I've been taught. I forgot all except for one lesson, that's keep them guessing. If they think you won't press, it's time for pressing. The only field that I want success in is the inability to give a false confession, 'cause I keep on yelling loud and I keep on feeling proud as authorities remove me from the crowd, telling me that I was doing what wasn't allowed. If the friendly officers don't understand, I still get a chance on the witness stand. I speak from my heart and they'll give me a hand, saying we decree you've got to free this man. And if that is the worst case scenario, then it's pretty obvious I got to give it a go. Self-destruction, such a powerful foe. Don't go with the flow, go put on a show. I never got the job with a nice big pension. I never been awarded any honorable mention, 'cause I always been the man who didn't like the
it's okay
that's
to break the
good.
law if you have good intentions by the very nice, interesting singer man.
Yeah, we closed the 5.5-hour concert with that song, and we just kept going for that end part. The bass player Pete was singing one part of the lyrics, I was singing the other part, and I was like, keep going. And the tiny crowd that was still there were loving it. At that point, everyone was exhausted. 5.5 hours is a long.
It's a long show.
concert.
Do you take a break at all? Just straight through?
There's 4 sets, and there's about 20-minute breaks in between each set, where everyone is forced to socialize. Like, I end the set by saying, it's time to socialize. Because people come from all over.
What's the farthest someone's come?
Australia, yeah. And literally, they came just for the show. Then Belgium, some people came from Belgium.
Was this the people that I noticed there's either documentary or mini-series about you?
The Australian thing, unrelated to the doco. But yeah, there's a documentary about me, a 5-part or 6, I don't know. It's substantial. It's called Lessons from a Middle Class Artist.
It's very hard to find.
I know, it's only available in Australia. So just fly.
Just fly over there.
It's like I brag to people. There's a documentary about me, and they say, "Oh, can I see it?" And I say, "No." And then they're not so impressed.
They're like, I don't know if it exists then.
It should be available worldwide, I'd say, within the next year.
Okay.
And I'll be very happy when that happens, because it's good. I mean, it was made by the ABC, which is like the Australian equivalent of the BBC, and
Unrelated to our ABC.
Unrelated to the American ABC, correct. It's the, but I mean, a whole crew came. They were with me for 2 weeks, and I would have thought that I'd never get tired of having a camera around me and talking about myself, but I actually got tired of it after a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed you also, not to cut you off there, I'm sorry, you also make films.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've got the ones that come to mind. You have Freaky Farley.
Oh, yeah.
You have what you just brought in, the Slingshot Cops.
That's right.
I'm trying to think, what are the other ones? Those are the two that...
Don't Let the River Beast Get You.
That one.
Yeah.
And I think you were the River Beast, weren't you? Or
more often than not. I like low budget horror movies from the 80s where especially when it's made by people who have no business making movies, who don't know what they're doing, don't live in Hollywood, but they still do it anyway,
They have the drive, they have the passion.
They have the drive and the passion. They don't have the talent or budget, And so we kind of recreate that scenario, and when we make our movies, we don't have real actors. We just have our friends and ourselves, and we can't afford to do it. We can't afford to do anything right. And within that concoction, though, comes just wonderful moments that you wouldn't get in a Hollywood movie. When your uncle is the lead in a buddy action movie, it's just gonna be your uncle who's only ever acted in your movies. He was a school teacher, and we're like, we're gonna make you an action star now. And he's like, all right. Okay. So that's the approach to all those movies, and most of them are on Amazon Prime now, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
People can watch them anywhere. Not many do, but they're out there. And we're making a new one right now called Metal Detector Maniac.
Metal Detector Maniac.
Yeah.
Let me write that down. Metal Detector. Do you do any metal detecting in your own time?
No, I was at a park with my kids, and there was a guy with a metal detector there, and I thought, something's not right about that guy. And then that night I called my friends who I make movies with, and I said, I got the idea for the new movie. And the movie's about a couple of musicians who notice a weird guy with a metal detector and start investigating him. So it's my character is me in the movie, Matt Farley. So it's very like, what if this happened to us is the approach.
Cool. I mean, I know actually with metal detecting, as a small tangent, I don't think you're allowed to dig up things in federal parks or stuff.
Interesting. Yeah.
Or if you do, anything you find has to be turned over to the government.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The thing about most metal detector people are wonderful people, I'm sure. But if you had sinister plans, what better way to hide in plain sight than by just standing there with a metal detector? No one
That was a good question.
no one questions you. They're like, oh, he's just trying to detect metal, when in fact he's a bad guy. You know, that's the approach we're taking with the movie, at least.
How far into production are you guys?
We're about halfway done. We're taking our time. We'll do a weekend of filming, and then we won't film again for like 3 months. And but the goal is October of 2020 to have a little premiere, the same weekend as the next extravaganza.
Oh, will you play it?
Saturday night will be the extravaganza. Sunday matinee screening of the movie. It's gonna be fun.
I mean, the movie's not done yet. Do you have a location plan for the screening?
Yeah, I haven't rented it out yet, but there's a place in Peabody that looks promising.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of do-it-yourself creativity. Like with the music and the movies, it's just like, how about let's just do it? Like there's this belief that you can't be in the entertainment field if you don't live in New York or LA or something. But I'm very much opposed to that especially nowadays with with the internet and whatnot. You can make your music available to everyone. You can make your movies available to everyone on your own. You don't have to go through any gatekeepers. The flip side is if you had gone through the gatekeepers, they would invest a lot of money in you to promote you. So you got to find weird, inexpensive ways to kind of get noticed, hence making 20,000 songs or you name it,
Yeah, you got to play the system in some way.
Yeah, but I much prefer doing it this way than going through the gatekeepers. Of course, the gatekeepers don't want me, so it makes it easier for me to make this choice.
Well, they're missing out.
Amen.
I also noticed that you definitely do some interesting things with film as well. I haven't seen a full Motern Media production. I've seen trailers or snippets, but I also saw a behind the scenes for Freaky Farley. And I think you guys shot at least some of it, if not all of it, on 16
film. Yeah, super 16 millimeter film, which we filmed it a little more than 10 years ago. But even then, no one was doing that.
No,
really. Yeah,
not 10 years ago.
But I love the look of the 70s and 80s low budget movies that were shot on that. So we were like, let's do it, and it came to something. I think it was it was $30 per minute that we shot. So we were not in favor of second takes.
Just first take. That's
like,
it.
People are just flubbing their lines, and we're like, it's good enough. It's gonna cost me $12 to fix it. So no, but that's beautiful. That's how you end up with if you tell someone to act badly in a movie, like, it comes off as, I don't like it. It's cheesy and just fake. But if you tell someone, do the best you can, and it still comes off bad, then wonderful. That's the sweet spot that we go for.
I'm guessing you've seen The Room then.
Of course,
yes. Yeah. Like that film.
Yes, because they're going for it. They're giving it their all, and what's coming out is just off in this weird way, but a wonderful weird way. But I think we treat our actors better than Tommy Wiseau seemed to.
I would hope so.
We don't pay them, so Tommy actually treated them better now that I think about it. But we're very nice to them, and we give them pizza. So what more can you ask for? I guess money.
It's okay. They get to be in a fun film.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing because I wouldn't see my friends ever otherwise. Everyone's too busy with their lives. But if we're like, hey, we got to make a movie, then we, everyone gets together for the weekend and has a good time, and then we get a movie out of it.
There you go. So where was it going? I've lost my train of thought, which is always great.
You're doing amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I've got a cheat sheet, luckily.
Yeah.
I've been trying not to use it. Let's look at it. Oh, yeah. So you also have an option for custom orders for your songs.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, and I've seen you've done a commercial with, it was very like pastel blue colors and stuff. It was about 30 seconds, I think.
Yeah. That's that was how I got to quit my day job 2.5 years ago. Maury's Auto is a auto dealership in Minnesota.
They just found you?
They work with an ad agency, and the guy who worked at the ad agency was a fan of my music and proposed that they had me write a bunch of catchy jingles, and that I become like the pitch man. So
Yeah.
I was on billboards, I was on TV all the time. I wrote multiple jingles about Morrys, and I think I drove the entire state of Minnesota crazy. I'm pretty sure, because after
you made them known.
After a year, they were like, "All right, we don't want your catchy jingles anymore." But it gave me enough money that I could kind of test the waters of just working off music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out, it turned out that I can survive, and it's beautiful. So I'm eternally grateful to Morrison, and I was on a billboard.
That's cool. And there's definitely, a subset of the population that you'll be that guy.
Yeah.
From that commercial.
Yeah, because, I get texts and phone calls from random people, and anytime it's from someone in Minnesota, I'm like, "Hey, do you know my commercials?" And they're like, "Oh, that's you? Oh, my God. We hate those songs."
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then every week I'm doing 10 or so custom songs for people where they'll have like an anniversary song. So someone,
the most common.
a husband will be like, "All right, here's all the details of our life together," and I'll say, "All right, I'm gonna make her cry." I had to do one song for a funeral.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Was that the strangest one you've had, or?
Well, not quite, but the funeral song, I wrote it and sent it off, and then, it was sweet and nice, and hopefully a good tribute to the person. But I couldn't help but imagine, like, in the church, someone listening to the song and then saying, "Wait, is that the Poop Song guy?"
Someone must have put two and two together.
My kids listen to that guy. He has a song called "Poop in My Fingernails." Yeah, but one time I was asked to do a song. Well, a guy was put into a medically induced coma for 2 weeks.
Oh.
Because of some condition that he had.
No.
And so his friends asked me to write a song that welcomed him back to consciousness. Yeah.
That is a song. Did you have to fill him in on events at
That's exactly what. Yeah, that's what I did. I gave him updates on the news of the world while he was out. Yeah.
Did he like it?
I think so. Yeah, I ended up talking to him like a year later, and he had a good sense of humor.
And he's okay.
Yeah, last I heard.
That's good. That's an interesting commission right there.
I know. It's amazing the personal things I know about people, because I want to get the details, It's not just like not just where you met, like how did you meet, like what was your first date? Give me every little detail, because you never know. Like when you're searching for a rhyme, sometimes I want to be able to go back to this big list of info and find something I can do. But yeah, that's fun. I know a lot of personal detail about a lot of strangers.
And they're okay with that.
Yeah, well, it's the oath of the custom songwriter, You're not allowed to disclose it, even though I just did about the coma guy.
You didn't say his name, though.
Okay.
Which is good.
No, he's very public about it. I interviewed him on my podcast to discuss it, so I knew it was fair game.
Yeah, that's good then.
Yeah.
How long are these songs usually? Are they a standard length or?
Like a minute and a half to 2.5 minutes, right in there. Even if it's a song about you, after a minute and a half, you're like, okay, I get it.
It's about me.
But I think I like short songs anyway. Like that Van song, Ringworm. If that went on for another 25 seconds, I'm like, okay,
That's too much.
yeah, I get it, Van. He's like, it could have been something worse. I like that line.
That's a good one. I love the little ooh ah.
Look, I'm not here to call out Van Morrison, but I think I could have done a better Ringworm song. In fact, I think
will you do one?
I might have one already now that I think of it.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's better. I'll look it up.
If you've got one, I'd love to play it.
Yeah, yeah. But because on the Toilet album, sometimes I go into other directions. Now that I've called him out, now I'm
On the spot.
I'm regretting it, because he's Van Morrison.
He is Van Morrison, and
I'm
you're
just some guy who sings in his basement. Good news, I never wrote one about ringworm. We'll do one. I'll do one on the next album.
Please send me a link to that.
Absolutely.
I want to hear that.
I will.
Ringworm. My friend, I mean, the way I found that song is my friend actually got ringworm, and then we were looking up songs about ringworm.
Now, I'm pretty sure I have a song about Newburyport. You know that?
I know you have one on the Massachusetts Love Warrior.
Okay, that one. But I think also the guy who sings songs about cities and towns might have a Newburyport.
Oh.
I'm not positive, but
I was trying to find, because I know
the Massachusetts Love Song Warriors has one.
He has
right?
one, but just one in Newburyport in general. I was trying to find one, but it's sometimes you're going quickly, and I think you have 50 songs in an album for the guy who sings about cities and towns. So sometimes they get lost.
I know, but also, I guess Newburyport didn't have a high enough
Didn't
population.
make the cut.
What a shame, because I love Newburyport. I come up here all the time. My kids like to play in the fountain downtown.
Gotta be careful with that.
Tell me more.
Sometimes a few years ago there was it E. coli? Was in the fountain?
Oh, really?
I think it was. Yeah, you gotta be. They closed it down for a couple years and they opened it back up. And
That's fine. A little E. coli.
never hurt anyone, except it did. But it is a nice downtown.
Oh yeah, get some gelato too. Oh,
Gelato's
good
great.
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So when you're writing these songs about cities and towns,
Yeah.
do you just go on Wikipedia and do you read
Yes.
some of the highlights?
Yeah. So I write the music. I record the musical part of the song, and then when it's time to do the vocals, I just hit record with the Wikipedia page open right in front of
And
me
you're just doing it live.
as I'm going. Yeah. Oh, Newburyport. What a good city. They got boats. Oh, yeah, look at the boats. Oh, I love to play in the fountain. But watch out for the E. coli. It's gonna get you. And boom.
That was great.
Thank you.
Little impromptu Newburyport song right there. That was a bad clap.
That's exactly how it goes. And I'm down in the basement cracking up, just thinking I'm so funny. And my poor family is upstairs, and it's not soundproof at all.
So they can hear every minute of this.
And if you listen closely to the songs, you can hear, my wife being like, "Hey, what are you doing over there? Stop that!" Yelling at the kids for climbing on the furniture.
I'll have to listen closely.
Yeah, you can hear the laundry going all the time too, the washer dryer. Yeah, it adds a nice rhythm. It's basically, especially at the end of a song, as the music's ringing out, the music is fading out, and then you hear and it doesn't matter. If anyone out there who needs some advice on creativity, here it is. Don't worry about perfection. Perfection is gonna just stifle you so much, because you want to get it right, and you're thinking about, if you're writing lyrics, you're like, oh, should it say like the or and I don't know if that's, who cares, basically. Just write what you write, get it out there, record it, get it out there, don't sweat it. And it's painful, it's scary to put out a song, or to release any work of art. So you just have to do it, and the humiliation that comes with it, like when you're playing a song for your friends or your family, time can stand still sometimes.
I know that feeling.
Do you make music too?
I do make music.
Yeah.
And I've done it, and it's...
Oh, it's the worst. And then they start checking their phone 45 seconds into the song. They're checking their phone, and it's like, why aren't you listening to my song? And then the song's only 2 minutes long, but it feels like a lifetime. And then they're like, oh, that was interesting. And then they quickly change the subject. Oh, it's tough, huh?
It can be heartbreaking sometimes.
But don't let that get you down, and just stop playing it for your friends and family, because they're never gonna appreciate it. Only when other people appreciate you do suddenly the people who know you take note. You know what I mean? It's like, if you can impress a radio station in Newburyport, then suddenly you go home, you're like, hey, maybe I am worth listening to, huh? Some people in Newburyport think I'm cool, So, but that's the advice. Just write it. And I find if you try to write one perfect song, say in a week, okay, Maybe you will, probably you won't, okay? But if you write 10 songs in a week, your odds of one of them being perfect or just one of them being really good, your odds are much higher. You wrote 10 songs and you didn't worry about it, because worrying about it just makes you stop, or it just freezes you. I think that's what writer's block is. You're just too scared to write anymore.
It's very like profound right now, because I've been going through a lot of my own music that I've written.
Yeah.
And I have stopped because I've thought, oh, this transition here, it's a little too weird. Oh, the lyrics here are a little too clunky. So I just shelve it, and then
like you get into the habit of not completing things,
Yep.
So if you get into the habit where you must finish it, and I never stop anything, and there's plenty of songs I'm 75% done writing them, and I think I hate this song. I despise this song. Make this end as soon as I can. How about I'll just repeat the first verse for the last verse, because then I don't have to worry about it. And then the crazy part, though, is then I release it. I hate the song, and then I've released it. And then I get an email from someone, hey, I really like that song. I'm like, what? You like that song? I
hate that song.
I hate that song. So you don't know. You really don't know. Just put it out there, as humiliating as it is. Because, I mean, I've released 20,000 songs, and I still feel so embarrassed all the time.
Going off, I have two questions going off that. One is there a song that sticks out as one that you despise, that you, no matter what, you can't let it go, that you've made this? And you...
I mean, not specific. I mean, I have... One of my acts is called Paparazzi and the Photogs, and it's all songs about celebrities. And I open up the Wikipedia page, and I'm reading the page as I'm playing the piano and singing all at once. And
no backing track first.
Right, exactly. So I can't. I have trouble listening to most of those, just because I cringe. I cringe at my own work. But so many people like them. People are just happy that, there's a song about my favorite celebrity,
Yeah.
Their criteria is pretty low. Like, they don't expect it to be that great either. But every once in a while, I accidentally write a good one, specifically Charles Darwin, when I wrote my...
I heard that one, the Charles Darwin.
My Darwin song. And I forgot that was good until some guys sent me a video of them singing along with my song. And I was like, that is a good song. Thank you. So I play that live a lot too now.
And I think you also have one about Tom Brady that someone sent me.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking Tom Brady's back.
Yeah. Tom Brady's back. He tore up his knee.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I put a little more effort into the sports songs, because depending on what team goes to the Super Bowl, it's like I want to have songs about both teams.
Want to be ready.
Yeah.
Gotta play both sides.
I know, totally. I have one band called the Best Birthday Song Band Ever, where I sing Happy Birthday to specific names. Mm-hmm. But I also have the Family Party Song Singers, where I sing a different happy birthday song to the same name. So they're like competing with each other, but they're all me.
And this is excluding the guy who sings your name over and over again.
Correct. And I'm in the midst of the Name Poop Song series, where I sing a person's name followed by the word poop.
Is it one after the other? So you might say, like you'd say Matt, and then you'd say poop, or you'd say Matt?
Poop, Matt, poop,
Okay.
poop, Matt. But for that one, it's a completely new melody and music for each track, too. Others, I use the same backing track, but I felt that was cheap, so I had to have some integrity when I did Name Poop songs.
Depending on who you ask, so we've become very familiar with the guy who sings your name over and over again. We've gone through everyone here, and we've tried to find everyone's name. I think there was one name we couldn't find.
Who was it? Do you remember? It's okay.
I don't remember. Yeah. I know we couldn't find one name, but it's all the same backing track and same rhythm. So we really enjoyed some subtle variances. I think you had one about Drew, and W was one of the was one of
There's
the,
a couple. I think there's even a few where I sneezed, during the song, and I just left it in.
keep it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Ashley song, there's an error, and it's only the backing track. The vocals didn't
Didn't come through.
didn't come through. So yeah, there's misspelling, like titles are misspelled sometimes. Yeah, when I'm every division of this music company, so I'm the one who's typing in every song title into the metadata boxes, and so I've 20,000 times I've typed in who the songwriter is, who the publisher is, the title, blah blah blah. I mean, it is just mind-numbing work. To put out an album with 50 tracks means that I'm sitting on the couch for like 3 hours
Just doing metadata.
uploading the tracks, blah blah blah. It's awful. But one thing that I feel good about is I'm like, no one else would do this. So there's no way anyone's gonna write 20,000 songs. No one is as committed to this insane plan as I am.
The only other person I've heard who's written a lot of songs like this is R. Stevie Moore.
Yeah.
I don't know how many songs he's written, though.
Much less. But
Much
yeah,
less.
I'm familiar with him. Yeah. And I'm so jealous that he's much better known than I am. Is it because of Tim and Eric that
It might be. Did he work with Tim and Eric?
I'm pretty sure he worked with Tim and Eric, yeah.
I know he
but-
worked with Ariel Pink.
Okay, yeah. I'm jealous of him too.
Hit him up.
One thing, I'm pretty sure I have a song about him, Ariel Pink. And R. Stevie Moore, but yeah, another good motivator is pure jealousy and rage. Like every time I hear that Van Morrison song, and I'm like, my songs are better than that. Ah! And only that level of pettiness
Competitiveness.
could motivate someone to work this hard for this long. I've only been doing it full time for 2.5 years, and I'm definitely not like breaking the bank by any means. I'm making like a teacher's salary. It's not like what you envision when you think of a rock star.
You're not bringing in like Paul McCartney levels.
Not bringing in Paul McCartney numbers, but I mean,
Not yet.
Not yet. Life is long.
It's gonna happen. It's just when is the question.
Well, all I know is that all the greats started right here in the studio, right?
I'd hope so.
The road to superstardom is what are our call letters?
WJOP.
WJOP.
96.3 FM. Right in this room. We're getting near the end here. Do you want to play one more song?
Yeah.
Do you
Can
have a
I
song?
pick one?
Yes, we have about under 2 minutes, so it's got to be under that.
If it's something handy, you have something handy, just play whatever.
I have Dijon as a mustard seed
Let's
in
do
France.
that one.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming. Everyone, this has been Matt Farley on WJOP 96.3 FM, and this is Dijon is the mustard city in France.
Oh yeah, Dijon. It's a good city in eastern France. Dijon. Get some mustard in Dijon. It's a good place to get your mustard. Oh yeah. Dijon's got a lot of other cool things. For instance, the Dijon Cathedral. Go to the Dijon Cathedral. Say a little prayer. Oh yeah. Dijon's got some nice streets and buildings. Oh yeah. And they got their mustard. You get the best mustard in the world when you go to Dijon. Dijon is a good French city. It's got a good educational system, teaching all the little children all about the important stuff they need to know to be productive citizens. Have I mentioned the yummy mustard? Oh, it's so